Here we go. Brad called it. It is a double main event. We got 2 titles on the line, 2 of the biggest championships in our game right now, and we are being graced. I'll let him get adjusted before I start name dropping him, but we have got, Brad talked about it earlier, the grassroots growth of White Mike's popularity.
Listen to these people, man.
Look,
yeah.
I think I saw a sign that says, if White Mike loses, we riot, for sure.
People coming up out of their seats. They have heard this music. 5, 6, 7 Wrestlecades in a row. Got to be getting close to that.
Yeah. And he knows how to make an entrance, man.
Buckle up, everybody, as we welcome the OG, Kevin Gill, to the booth. Kevin, I know that you have seen this young man's rise. It is a feel-good story, and there's about 1,000 people on their feet feeling good right now.
I'll be honest, brother, when I heard this match was signed, it was before I was ever aware there was a George South versus Nick Gage, and it was then when I started putting out feelers to be a part of what I feel like is going to be an all-time historic night, not just for the Winston-Salem region of professional wrestling, but truly for the wrestling world.
Yeah, we've talked about it all night. All eyes of the wrestling world are on Winston-Salem this weekend, and right now, nobody is hotter in this building than White Mike.
White Mike is heat, but not in the traditional sense, not in the wrestling sense, where heat is bad. In this case, it's the heat of love, the heat of the blood that pumps through his heart. It screams pro wrestling. It screams North Carolina.
The passion on the face of that young man started at the bottom, and now we are here, the biggest stage and platform we can produce.
Oh, tranquilo. Sort of.
Or Stankilo.
Oh, dude, tell him that. Get PayPal credit every time he uses it.
Amen.
I do that with Brad for his shirts.
All right, I'm going to seek it out after your recommendation. Thank you, sir.
It's organic, ladies and gentlemen. The love for White Mike here at the Benton Convention Center. But I gotta say, a part of it is kind of how this guy has gone about business.
Folks, if you're watching live, if you're watching on tape, we wish you were here. It is thunderous, it is electric, and here comes the man who, on the most star-studded weekend of wrestling there is, says he is the one star in the building.
And he's the holder of the gold, the man that holds that prestigious AML title.
Yeah, he has retained it using, what'd you call it earlier, Brad? Your nickname for cheating? But he has done less than less than morally high ways of retaining it. And we almost saw a riot in Hickory a few months ago when he used the ropes as leverage to pin White Mike 1, 2, 3. So there's a little bit of some animosity, some personal grudge going on here, but these folks are ready to see a new champion, just like they are every month, but none more than tonight.
Focus in those eyes.
White Mike's jazz, man.
From the Vegas Strip, weighing at 242 pounds, he's the AML Wrestling Champion, the one star, Brad Attitude.
Iconic shot of a champion overlooking his kingdom. That's not Matt Taven's kingdom.
And overlooking being the key word for Brad Attitude, because Brad Attitude sees himself as at a higher tier than everyone else. He sees everyone as beneath him, particularly White Mike.
Absolutely.
And he lets everybody know it. That's the problem.
Thought it was borderline embarrassing to have to defend the title against White Mike to begin with. And make no mistake, White Mike earned this
Yes,
opportunity.
he sure did.
He earned 2 opportunities, winning the Contender Scramble match a few months back in Salisbury, North Carolina. Went on to face Brad Attitude in Hickory, where White Mike promised he would make history in Hickory. It was not to be. It was a controversial call.
Very.
Some would say it was a blown call, quite frankly. Both men tangled up in the ropes. The referee was looking at the shoulders. The pinfall should not have counted. White Mike then had to fight through the 2nd annual Stadium Royale in Gastonia to earn one more shot against the only star at Wrestlecade weekend, Brad Attitude.
And the best part of it was, my friend, there were over 1,200 eyewitnesses to White Mike's triumphant win, the win that got him this shot tonight.
And endorsed by Matt Hardy, a former Wrestlecade champion. Matt Hardy, the last challenger for Brad Attitude prior to tonight, and he said, look, if I didn't get the job done, I want to see you do it, White Mike.
Well, endorsements are certainly no stranger to White Mike. I remember back in 2017, it was Cody Rhodes on his tour of the Indies to rediscover himself. He said one wrestler reminded him of his father, a man who was a man of the people, and that man was White Mike.
And it was right here at AML Wrestling that White Mike more or less discovered by Jeff Jarrett.
Yeah, it was funny. He was in a battle royal, and Jeff Jarrett literally said, you need to put that guy on more events. And, of course, we did. Started getting success as a part of the Gymnasty Boys tag team champion. And then COVID, they split. He's been on.
Oh, God. Oh, White Mike, I'm sorry. White Mike was going to take a chance. He got caught in the power slam.
Well, I was going to say he went on a singles crusade, but he just went high sailing right there to the floor of the Benton Convention Center.
We have already seen how disastrous those tumbles in and out of the ring can be. And White Mike, like the spine and the tailbone, even Attitude is favoring.
A lot of people
looks like the hamstring, maybe.
A lot of people look at that and look, it's a concrete floor under that carpet. There's no give, no flex, no foam.
When bodies were crashing into the floor at the end, in the course of the Scott Island Rumble, we were feeling it in our feet as bodies hit the floor. And Brad Attitude may take the count out here. A win is a win.
Yeah.
And, Coach, you talked about when the Gymnasty Boys split up. A lot of people went on the record at that time saying White Mike couldn't do it on his own. Without a team, he would just fade away. He would die. He would be nothing. But he proves the critics in the cynics wrong.
Exactly. He has put in the work, put his nose to the grindstone, cut weight. He's in the best shape I've ever seen him, but he's still him. He's still charismatic. He's still fun, but he's got that serious side, too.
You've got to make sure to not get counted out here. Ben Grayson, another controversial figure in AML sometimes.
Where are we at?
We're gonna hope that the officiating goes off without a hitch in this one. We're at 7.
White Mike using the truss. Whatever you got to do, young man.
Pulls himself right back into title contention.
To your point, KG, when AML Wrestling returned from the shutdown due to the COVID-19 pandemic, Josh, you and I, month after month, we saw the struggles as White Mike won some, lost some. It seemed like it was one step forward and 2 steps back until he turned his fates around in Salisbury, North Carolina a few months ago. And ever since then, it has been a groundswell of support for this young man who, like you said, is in the best shape of his life. Oh, cover for the champion, only one. He's in the best shape of his life. He's on the best roll of his life. And these people are here with their fingers crossed.
And as you said, Brad, he won some, he lost some, but White Mike never lost hope along the way. He always stayed focused on that dream, that goal.
Well, Kevin, you mentioned it. A lot of guys said, oh, you're just a comedy guy. You'll never be at the top. You'll never be a champion. And he took that personal. I mean, personal.
It's hard not to when your peers, some of your peers, people you considered friends, people you looked up to and respected, reveal their true form, show you who they are. White Mike is smart enough to listen.
Everyone's got their critics. I don't like your moveset. I don't like your haircut. I don't like your necktie. But when your critics are, you're a joke, you're a nobody, you don't belong in the ring with someone like me. You can do one of 2 things. You can sit home and cry about it, or like you said, Josh, you can put your nose to the grindstone and you can prove your critics wrong. White Mike, here today on the biggest stage that AML Wrestling presents, has the chance to prove his critics wrong.
Yeah, and we talked about it. I mean, Jeff Jarrett was one of his biggest, like, you can do this. And so every time he got told no or got told all those things, Jeff Jarrett just kept coming in the back of the mind, right? And drove it.
At any level, from your first match as a rookie to the main events of the biggest stages in our business, both of you men have been around and know confidence is everything.
Absolutely.
If you have it, you've got the freight train behind you. If you don't have it, you've got the weight of the world on your shoulders.
And speaking of shoulders, it's the shoulders of White Mike colliding hard into that corner.
Yeah, Brad Attitude's firmly in the driver's seat right now. I know White Mike's got to be talking to himself, thinking, what has he got to do? But Brad right now, confident, swagger, cocky.
And he has a right to be cocky. He is the holder of the gold, and his pedigree, his timeline, his CageMatch.net database results are quite mind-blowing, quite honestly. Where he's been and what he's done.
Yeah, we don't need Cage. We have Brad.
Brad. We have Brad.
Former WWE developmental talent in the early days of FCW was on the first handful of Evolve events. A little known fact, cover here too. A little known fact, Brad Attitude was actually the first man to be offered a contract by Evolve. Turned it down, bet on himself, went about his own way, and that path has led him here as the defending champion on the biggest show in the South against a young man who, like we have talked about, has had to scrap and claw and crawl for every bit of recognition and respect.
Now, Kevin, I saw you doing some homework earlier, trying to get up, and get the stats and the dates and everything like that. But the way Brad Attitude won the championship, handcuffing Caprice to the ropes.
Cover. Go ahead.
Handcuffing Caprice to the ropes, making him say "I quit," like ruining Tim's prestige championship. Like, it's just everything that he's done to get here. Has just shown his true colors, and I think everybody in this city wants to see him be played.
It's the right thing. People want to see good in the world. They want to still believe in hope that there can be a positive outcome. And White Mike represents all of us.
Huge DDT there from White Mike.
There's the opening. There it is.
I saw a critic, a cynic, a hater say online that White Mike, it was someone out of Ohio. They said White Mike is a $25 talent. Look around this room. Look at this house. This is one half of a double main event.
Oh yeah, no exaggeration and no sucking up in mind.
For real.
Every match on this card could be a main event.
Without a doubt.
And everybody's going hard.
Yeah.
Every single match. Everybody knows how many eyes are on him, how many people are in the building, how many people are watching streaming, going to watch the replay. They want to show out and help their stock rise.
I want to point out right there, White Mike tried to get a running start, and that lower back is clearly bothering him. That's going to affect his ability to run, to walk, potentially even to stand or lift. Oh! Going for that spinning neck breaker. That spinning neck breaker, he has never hit it on Brad Attitude in their previous matchup.
Wait, oh, God.
And the back hit the apron. The small of the back hit the apron. Like Brad Attitude or not, he is a genius, and he just placed the injured part of White Mike's body right on the edge of the apron.
Yeah, they're right down the line from us right now. Ben Grayson checking on him, saying he can continue, but I know a lot of times when they fall in front of us, sometimes we can kind of hear like what they're talking about and how they're breathing, and that'll kind of help us tell you, like, are they going to be able to get back up? But right now, Ben Grayson's counting, and White Mike's, he's in some pain.
You've already seen, KG, that Brad Attitude will take the count out if that's what it takes. Oh, man.
Out.
Attitude takes a chance. Very uncharacteristic of the champion.
Trying to extinguish that light of hope, to extinguish that beacon of inspiration, beaming here from Winston-Salem to the world via the Title Match Network.
Attitude thinks so little of White Mike, Josh. He wants to leave no doubt. He wants to run the score up.
I mean, look, I'm not a fan of Brad Attitude. I keep it no secret, but I do follow him on social media, and that man loves to talk about himself.
Yes, he does.
I asked Brad Attitude if he had any thoughts about White Mike coming into this match, and he said, why would I have any thoughts on a local talent?
Cover.
Man.
It's scathing.
He did not say that. Tell me he did not say that.
I swear. You know the deal.
White Mike is homegrown, man, and hey, for the record, A&L Wrestling was White Mike's break in a lot of ways, but this is a guy who toiled at some of the smallest low budget or no budget wrestling shows in the Carolinas for years looking for a break. back when I was coming up, we used to say anywhere that sets a ring up.
He'll be there.
Yeah, and he, like I said, scratched and clawed just to get discovered. This is not somebody that walked in off a football field and got handed a contract.
Yeah, White Mike, believe it or not, did not have a lucrative modeling or surfboarding career.
Attitude going for that neck breaker.
Yeah, we talked about it earlier, how much of an insult that is to use somebody else's established move.
The last matchup back in Hickory. Hold on. White Mike's going to take another chance here. Oh! Came down on the head and shoulders of Attitude. His head may have hit the guardrail. White Mike is clutching at his face. His head may have cracked that guardrail.
That was hard to watch, and we know White Mike is no stranger to pain. His battles with New Jack, the blood that was spilled between those two men.
Another piece of wrestling trivia, New Jack's last professional wrestling match was against White Mike.
Rest in peace, New Jack. White Mike was so inspired and so motivated by those encounters, and similar to what we talked about earlier about legends and icons of this industry all being unified in their opinion of White Mike, and you can add New Jack to that list.
Yeah, it's a story that doesn't get talked about a lot, but late in his life when Jack relocated back to the Carolinas, his home, a lot of the young guys coming up in the North Carolinas really saw New Jack as an uncle figure, believe it or not.
Scared of him.
He gave back a lot in his last few years once he came back to the Carolinas to the younger guys, none more than White Mike, honestly. If you talk to anybody that trained in Greensboro in the past 5 or 6 years, if you bring up New Jack, they'll call him Unc.
Incredible legacy. And
yeah, I call him my spirit.
Call him Sir.
Yes, sir. So right now you talk about legacies. White Mike's trying to build his legacy, trying to capture an elusive prize, a prize that would mean more to him than anything he could accomplish in this game.
But even that, hold on, even that really tells the tale of these two men. White Mike was oh boy, boom! White Mike was training in a dingy warehouse with New Jack, while Brad Attitude came from nice, expensive training facilities.
Corporate wrestling training.
Corporate wrestling, there you go. Mentored.
Oh my God.
Mentored by men like Dusty Rhodes, Dr. Tom Pritchard. Cover! That was a long two, boys. That was a long two.
Fantastic shot by Superjaw in title match wrestling to just see how close that was. Kevin, get back in your seat, man. It's okay. Catch your breath.
Yeah, in all seriousness, huge shout out to Tyler, Joe, Jay, and the whole crew at Superjaw. The production all weekend has been top notch. Dax Harwood and Mike Bailey last night, one of the best shot pro wrestling matches I've ever seen in my life. In addition to being one of the best matches I've ever seen in my life. Seek that out if you can, but stay with us right now.
I'm seated about 18 inches from the ring right now with you guys, but my eyes won't leave that monitor. Thanks to the quality of that work. It's incredible to behold.
Watch out, KG, because White Mike might be in your lap in a minute.
They're right above us, and I don't like it a damn bit. White Mike going to the top. Not known as a flyer. White Mike
takes the risk.
Big frog splash from Yam Van Dam. Cover.
YVD with 2 3/4.
Wow.
Oh my God, this place was about to be certifiably nuts if Ben Grayson's hand would have come down for a 3, gentlemen.
Oh, no matter which way the outcome goes in either of our 2 main events, we're going to be seeing some raucous crowd reactions one way or another. People coming up for White Mike again. They believe in this man. You hit it on the head. The comparison to Dusty Rhodes, someone that the fans believe in.
And it's even more.
Yam opener.
Oh my God. Yam opener didn't go as planned.
Nick Grayson has the worst look at these things. Inside cradle, nothing there.
3. We would have had a new champion right there.
Ben!
Inside cradle right there.
We need another ref out here.
Somebody come running down here, make the save.
I smell a riot brewing.
Attitude just trying to get free. Oh man, Attitude's got the title. Attitude has got the title. This is eerily similar to how Zuka King retained the Prestige Championship earlier tonight. Attitude had to be watching the monitor. Oh! Attitude caught him with the belt.
Brad, not like this. Come on, you got to be kidding me. I've been sitting here for too many of these to be let down right now. No.
Can White Mike keep hope alive? He cannot. White Mike.
Brad Attitude, the AML Wrestling Champion, and Zuka King, the Prestige Champion. Both,
Hey, hold on, Brad.
Both get away with murder here.
Wait a second.
Wait a second. AML President Tracy Myers and matchmaker Brian Hawks are out here. Hold on. Let's see if we can pick this conference up. We already saw it once tonight between Zuka King and Shane Taylor. We can't pick it up in our headsets.
I read lips.
I read lips too. Hold on. He's giving it back. Hold on. Attitude.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have just been informed that this match will now restart.
Attitude thought he had stolen one.
The hopes of White Mike, the hometown hero. Every man's hopes are alive in this moment.
Attitude is screaming that, it's not Drano! 1, 2! Attitude screaming that it's been a conspiracy this whole time! Stuck in! 1, 2! Wow!
How close can you get?
Yeah, the peanut butter falcon arrow did not get the job done.
Oh man! There's a buzz in this room at the Benton Convention Center in downtown Winston-Salem. We thank you wherever you are in the world, but we wish you were here. There is electricity in this room right now. White Mike will go to take a chance. Still fighting the champion. Attitude loves that Spanish fly.
Yes, he does. Picture perfect execution by the champ.
Wow. And that Spanish fly, Josh, was all on the head and the back of the neck. That is not where you want to land.
Look, the White Mike right now is running on instinct. He knows that this entire room is cheering him on. He's gotten a second chance.
And it is electric here at the day after Wrestlecade. Attitude is incensed. Attitude almost in a state of disbelief that this match is still going on.
Attitude clearly doesn't feel that this opponent is on his level.
Look for that sit out in Uranagi. No. White Mike! Oh, he hit it with it!
Yeah, could it be?
He got him! A young man who literally started on the ring crew, came to AML Wrestling just to get an opportunity, just to get out of wrestling in flea markets and parking lots and shopping malls, has climbed to the top of the mountain at the biggest stage we can possibly showcase him. White Mike has made it to the top, boys.
The 15-year journey of White Mike. The boyhood dream has been fulfilled. White Mike has made history as part of Wrestlecade weekend.
Oh man, look. I know it's my turn, guys. Pull the curtain back, but gosh, I'm full on with emotion here. Like you said, this young man has busted his rear to get here. And the fact that it couldn't happen to a better guy, and I'm talking about Brad Attitude, White Mike deserves this. Not only for winning it, but dethroning that young man. Go ahead and soak this moment up, man.
Look at the people standing.
White Mike is all of us. All people, all nations, all colors, all faiths united by the journey of a humble man, an up-and-comer who made it to the very top of AML.
I'll probably get in trouble for this. I'll take all the heat. Now, I was originally going to come out here, and honestly, I was going to quote the wrestler word for word. My favorite promo of all time. But I don't want to do that because I'm trying to be the funny guy, right? So, what I want to start off by saying, as your new Hater Male World Heavyweight Champion. No, a lot of people don't like the eyes and rose this, rose that. Yo, we did it. I know a lot of them like keep up to me, and I like to tell jokes, right? I think for my 15-year career, the biggest joke that I ever told was letting everybody here and behind there think I was one. You understand that? Huh? I'm not supposed to be here right now. I was done at the beginning of the year. And my beautiful baby boy. I love you. I love you more than words can describe. I miss birthdays. I miss football games. I miss everything in the world because I want to give myself to y'all before I give myself sometimes to my children. And sometimes I know I'm not home, and I wish I could be there a lot more. But Daddy loves you, and I would die for you in this business until there's nothing left for me. And that's because all of you, thank you for keeping me going. And before I get up out of here, sign on my bad mother, you know what. Save this same energy for that damn main event. Because we got Nick Gage and George South. And I got a knot in my head and I didn't bleed. So I want to see blood. And my sweet man Godric, you're so short. I love you. And I miss you the most. I love you, bro. I'm out. Chase your dreams, do it. We got to get out of here. I love you all.
There's not a dry eye in the house. The love, the passion.
Soak it in, White Mike. The long journey. I hate to sound cliche, but what do they say? The boyhood dream.
Indeed, it's come true for White Mike.
And we had talked to Kevin earlier. We had talked about it on social media. White Mike talked about it. Our main event coming up is one to not take lightly. We're trying to get some production things going on. We've got some weapons and such.
Yes, indeed we do.
And my broadcast partner, Brad Stutz, has a little bit of a announcement of sorts.
He's a multitasker. It'll give me a chance to wipe the tears out of my eyes. I've been calling matches and been around a lot of history, but I've never had tears come out of my eyes during a post-match promo before.
Yeah. Look, Brad does multitask. Good thing he's not on camera as often because you'd see him scrambling around, okay? Brad Stutz does not get the credit for what he does, but that man right there is the man of the hour, Kevin.
Indeed, with his child, his seed by his side. White Mike has proved the critics, the cynics, the haters that their opinions don't mean diddly squat. Go, White Mike, go!
I like that, diddly squat.
Give me all that stuff, White Mike.